I remember the first time I heard Lubomir Milnik playing piano, which was from the tunes and we played as a layer for our readings, psychedelic Odyssey group, artist group of poets. We've been reading our poems and proses to the people around in Olomouc and in Prague and in Ostrava. And on the festivals in Uherské Hradiště and Sci-Hi, it was magical atmosphere, and I suddenly felt love in the work of genius. And I suddenly found out he's releasing his music on the Erased Tapes labels, which is a label that Ultima Records has great appreciation for the music and admire their work because of the perfection and brilliance and artistic diversity and the neoclassical approach, which is so strong in their roots and feelings. So yeah, the Milnik is, for me, it just doesn't matter. He's the fastest piano player on planet, whatever is it. For me, the most favorite part is when he's playing softly, gently, slowly, and he's like having a laugh. Every single finger on the claviature is having a laugh with the point, with the momentum, with the meaning, and he just transforms emotion in the music with so effortless drifting quality. Takes you away on a journey, and you are just a flying into the music, into that piece, and oh, and just stop. Let me guess. Reincarnate my flow. Yeah, you floating into the music. It's so softly shivering into the voice of whispering toms and like a sky blue shining flowers. It's almost like you're feeling appreciation for the poetry, if you even don't like it, and that's the meaning why I'm listening it, and that's the meaning I love poetry. It makes you so vibrant inside. It's a vast medium for me. You can reflect any inconvenience of your life, any kind of suffering, emotional boundaries, kind of depths in you that are strong, believed, are experienced. Yeah, poetry is for me. It's a kind of co-writing experience of universal process. It's just a foundation basis of something deeper in us that is attached to humanity and enchant the bells, singing racks of humanity in us, singing birds, flowering trees, leaves, honey, moon pie, wind angel, sky, drifting to the deep sky, moon pie sky. I heard Melnik and just see the world as it is. It's beautiful. Just glancing my senses, I'm deeply in the perception of me, you, self, everything around. It's just like red flowering wings of spring. Yeah, the mind spring. it's so shivering. See the mirrors, the shades in you, and yeah, it's the continuity of the playing. It's an excellent virtuosity. I admire his virtuosity, and yeah, just let me say I'm happy for being a part of this music, like listening it and perceive. Yeah, I would love to play piano like him. Just at the point of a basic non-education, musical non-education. I'm just teaching myself, everything. Trying to be with the flow with my feelings and produce the music, poetry as best as I can, and try hard to success on the highest goal, which is produce and to making poetry and making music and making films, videos, pictures, and be like for the people here, for entertaining, but also for next generation of reflections, and for the dreamers and seekers and the people around the world who have set their path and the truth and wisdom, and believe in higher intelligence, and believe in the universe, in self, and trustfulness. They have a very, very not so strong relating with trustfulness in myself, and when in relationship with other women and other people, I have to find stronger roots in trustfulness, and trust myself deeper from the heart to the bottom of the heart, the root of the heart, and so I can correspond with people and be more patient, be more trustful, be more like transparent, be like an individual being, which is also very sufficient and effective when it comes to human emotion and feelings. Be like, enchanted with emotions, like be part of a clean moment, and that's like resurrection from the slavery of a fear, the darkest corners of the soul, which is always just illuminated by the fear. And fear is like kind of the unconscious darkness. So, which means that we have to find and identify and struggle the darkness. And for me, the most part of the story, which I believe is we have to illuminate with the darkness, and people finding the tools, by people finding their inner artistic path, how to illuminate this darkness in us, how to reach it and put it to the bright sky, put it to the bright shining light. And for me, this works as Melnick with the music. For me, it works with the poetry, with the deep, stronging abyss, with the fall into the abyss inside of you, and finding the right word, finding the right meaning. And when it comes to the place, it goes into the surface, and surface takes up the light, and the darkness is turned into the light through to the meaning, to the word, wisdom, to the awareness, through the conscious experience. And sometimes it's so strong, even almost ecstatic, that it has the religious meaning. It goes beyond ordinary experiences, senses, and for me, my first religion experiences comes in the childhood, probably. Although I was born and raised in the family of atheists. My mom works as a in the office, doing a computer job, with computer and documents, and my dad is he work in the industry, and is manufacturing distillation machines, and selling it to the people who wants them. So it wasn't so transparent and sure that I would go on the path of artist, as I believe, as I'm an artist. I trying to connect with my deeper self, my inner self, with my inner eye, inner intelligence, and as artists we seek and we seed plants in us. We see a seed in us, and we are, I almost say, we're drinking from the depths, from the abyss. We're trying to reach and harvest our inner landscapes and transfer it to the bright side external pictures from the interiors we seek. From the interiors we drink our inner emotions. We're trying to explore our inner roots and inner landscapes, and then transfer it to the pictures cue, to the imagination, to the poetical meanings, to the lyrical picture, to the lyrical verses that goes beyond our individual existence, that goes beyond the chaotic existence we're living in, the world we're living in, that will splendor and see the magnificence and the beauty as the great artist can just reach this in a moment. And then that's the point. I guess I goes into the lyrical musical section, like projects like Supergalactic Expansive, which is, for me, it's really unreal. It's something that goes beyond. It's so precise, detailed, the composition, arrangement, the lyrical structures. So it's a huge inspiration for me. So for me as an artist, I see the beauty in the inner interactions with outer worlds, interior, exteriorized by the human senses, except our inner humanity, dignity, and beauty, with great sense of notion, of motions, and see the higher pictures. See the higher picture. That's for me. It's a goal as an artist, to see the higher pictures in us and reflects the gaps between the imagination and real worlds, reflects the stories of individuals and collective, and kind of get between contrasts and opposites and polarities in the self and inner self and meanings and individuals, but also in the collective and in the global matrix of the world, and the cosmogenesis. So it also higher points toward view as a philosophical aspects of my artistic journey is like the connect with the thoughts of artists that went before me on the path, on a similar path, that had a kind of difficult destiny, the approach to the evolution of consciousness and the stream of consciousness, and these currents that go with us, and what is happening on the scene, on the world, in this point. So yeah, it's like flowing in the inner rhythm, and finding the right wisdom, which for me the most deep part of the life is love. It's undescribable, inexplicable, man, unexpressible at this point, but we are hopelessly trying with from our our inner existential crisis, and from our inner like loneliness, trying to, you know, pure the right parts of this love, and try to connect with the right people, with the right right moments. And that's for me, that's the destiny, to be in the love and not to fall apart, and trust in the love, and trust in the people you love, your friends, your people, everybody, everywhere, your family. Trust and believe and appreciate the moment twice, better twice than never. Because if you don't appreciate the moment from of the lights, the deeper moments, then it's like you are not alive. And I love to be feeling, I love the feeling that I'm alive, that I'm living it, part of breathing process, that I'm part of the universe. And the universe is creative interaction. It's beautiful, power, magnificence, brilliance. Universe is great genius. It's artist, and it's yeah. For me, it's God and the universe. The self-splendid patterns of love that there are achieving enchants our aspiration as a higher steps, higher first steps for us, for imagination. And reality has to become imagination and itself and opposites. So yeah, that's like my words on it. And yeah, be part of a speech, of the poet's speech.